So to make a tie-on bracelet, I would take this and wrap it around my wrist one time so that I could get an idea of how big I need it to be. Okay, and then once I get that, I just will multiply that by 3 and go ahead and cut my string. Okay, so now I would take this string and I actually would cut it in half like this. One more again. Now grab your washer. So I'm going to fold this in half, and when I fold it in half, I end up with a loop end and I end up with an open end, okay? Loop end and open end. I am going to stick the looped end into my washer. You can decide whether you want to go in from the front or from the back, as long as you're consistent. That's most important. So I'm sticking the loop into my washer. I'm then going to take the open end and I'm going to bring it over and through. See that? Over and through. And then I'm going to pull it taut. Okay? So this is what it should look like. I'm going to repeat this process on the other side. I'm going to fold it in half again. Come up through the bottom. Try to even this out. Okay, and then I'm going to put it through that loop and I'm going to pull taut. So this is what I was referring to when you're stamping. So now that I have the strings on, I can see that if I stamp here and here, it'll be ideal versus me stamping straight all the way around. Okay? Now, if you want to, at this point, you could tie some knots on the end. It makes, sometimes people feel like that makes it a little bit bulky. But what I would do is I would get a friend or someone to come and tie this on my wrist for me so that it won't come off. And that's the easy tie-on version of the bracelet. Okay, so for those of you looking for something a little bit more advanced, let's go ahead and try the adjustable bracelet with the satin cord. So now this time, I'm actually not going to cut it. I'm just going to use the whole string this time. It's about maybe 2.5 feet long when I double it over, but I want to make sure that we have enough, so I'm going to use this whole string. So we'll start by cutting it in half. So we're gonna start by cutting it in half. And go ahead and add it to your washer in the same manner that you added the other cord. All right, so I'm gonna lay this out on the table in front of me. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to, I wanna cross these cords. So I'm laying them out in like a circle pattern here, but I'm also crossing the cords so that they kind of create like an X at the end here. All right, so we're gonna take the cord that's laying on top. We're going to wrap it around the other cord, okay? See that? So now we've made a loop with this cord. We're gonna wrap it around this cord. It went over the top, right? It's over the top, and then it goes under. That's how we wrap it around, okay? Then it's going to cross over, and we'll go underneath the loop. We're making a knot here. We're basically making a knot, and then we'll pull that tight. Again, try to make sure that everything is even. So I want to make sure that this string is even here, so that then this is even when I pull and close my knot. Okay, so now that you have your first knot there, you should be able to pull both. You should be able to either pull your knot or pull the strings. I'm holding that knot there, and now we're going to do something similar on the other side. So, you know, give yourself a couple inches. I'm gonna use my thumb. Give yourself a couple inches, and then what you're gonna do is you're going to go ahead and tie a similar knot on this side, okay? So go under, you know, when I say under, imagine this strand is on top now. We want it to go over and under so that it makes that loop for us. And then we'll cross it over, cross it, make sure it's crossing this string, and pull it through that loop to make another knot. Okay? You really do have to play around with these knots in terms of the placement and whatnot until you get it where you want it to be. Okay, definitely does get smaller. That's smaller. So once you get this to a place where you're satisfied with it, then there's two things that you could do. At this point, we can tie a knot in this string so that it doesn't come loose, and you can tie it all the way here down here at the end, or you can trim it and tie it. If you want a little bit of extra security, at this point, what I would do is I would take a lighter and just burn right there. So I'll have to show you that when I add the, I don't know, maybe I'll post it on social media or add something and show you when I have access to a lighter.